Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. And today we are going to be doing a deep dive energy read for the Divine Masculine. Now, I actually started this reading in Monday's extended reading, so I will be leaving the sort of part 1 to this reading in the description box underneath this video. You can listen either on YouTube memberships or Patreon if you have a membership there. And in that reading, we channeled messages for the Divine Masculine in the root chakra, sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. But if you're coming from that reading, you'll know that on the solar plexus, there were actually a lot of messages coming through for both the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So it's a very interesting reading, and I highly recommend checking it out if you feel guided to it. Again, the link will be below, but I want to pick up where we left off and start channeling into the upper chakra centers for the Divine Masculine. So we will be starting with the heart chakra, channeling up through the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So I am going to go ahead and start shuffling the cards to get us into the reading. So what can I channel for the Divine Masculines? By the way, when I refer to the Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine energies, these are energies that exist in a certain balance within each of us. So these messages could apply to your internal masculine, your internal feminine, or to an external person or situation. If it does apply externally, it doesn't have to be in a romantic sense, although it could be for some of you. And I will be channeling into many different threads of Divine Masculine energy. So these different threads could connect to different people, dynamics, or situations for you. But of course, always use your intuition at the end of the day for all of that. I got the name Carla for someone, also just letter initials C-A-R-L and another A. Someone could have double letters just in general in their name. And I heard the word winter. So of course, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in the thick of winter right now. But there also could be something about this season of winter metaphorically, like, ooh, I feel the Divine Masculine has been in a winter in their heart space. So I'm getting a thread of energy of a Divine Masculine who's been in some kind of, I'm hearing like a void. I'm hearing radio silent. So maybe this is someone who's been radio silent on you in the physical, or they may just be feeling as though romantically they've been in this kind of void where nothing's really been connecting for them, or they've not really had an interest romantically. They've been really like hermiting in on themselves, but also feeling a lot at the same time. Like during this winter, I'm actually getting that a lot of emotions have been surfacing and coming through for them. So what else can I channel from the Divine Masculine? With the garden and the gate in the upright position, I can already tell we're going to be getting through some Divine Feminine messages in this as well. So bear with me. I want to channel through whatever comes up, even if it is a Divine Feminine message. So some of these messages may actually apply to both the masculine and the feminine. So for the Divine Feminine on the heart space, I'm getting that the Divine Feminine has been, I'm hearing rightfully guarded. This doesn't feel like overprotection or limiting oneself. This feels like being measurably self-protective and focused at the same time, like being self-protective of one's heart in order to be focused. I got the letters L-E-O-N-S. Of course, the name Leon could be in there. Also maybe like L-Y-O-N-S, like lions, or maybe the animal lions, L-I-O-N-S. Interesting. Okay, yeah. And I saw Daniel in the lion, the biblical story, and how when Daniel was in the lion's den, he wouldn't even look at them. He turned away from them and focused somewhere else. And I feel that's almost what the Divine Masculine energy is doing here, that it's like there's something or maybe multiple things or distractions trying to grab at their attention, but they are fully, you know what? This is a mirrored message because Divine Feminine, I feel you've been feeling this too. Like there are people and things trying to grab at your attention, but you're focused on something else. But for the masculine, I feel the focus is on, I'm getting like the unknown, like something that's very mysterious or unknowable. Maybe that's you, Divine Feminine, for some of these masculines, like they're focused on you and they consider you to be unknowable and very mysterious. I'm hearing quietly focused. So they may not even be communicating to you in 3D that they are so focused on you. And yet they are. I saw a mouse in my mind's eye also. For some reason, I heard the mouse that could tame a lion. Maybe I'm picking up on like a very confident energy, like a confident masculine energy. But I'm hearing you have me wrapped around your finger. Interesting. Yeah, it's like this masculine feels as though you, Divine Feminine, like they may be this very strong, confident presence in the physical world, but they feel like you are this like soft, mysterious, feminine energy that has them wrapped around your finger, so to speak, as the saying goes. Again, these may just be different random threads of energy that connect for different people in different ways, but I'm definitely getting that for you, Divine Feminine, you have been very self-protective, but again, rightfully so. You've been turning your attention away from people and things that I'm hearing they make mountains out of molehills or want to make themselves or some problem out to be bigger than it is. I feel just like those lions. It's almost like there have been people or things like almost trying to grab your attention with theatrics or overblowing something or like trying to create a sense of urgency that you will then respond to. And I feel you're no longer being entrapped in that. You are staying focused on where you are going and you are being conscious about what you are putting your energy into rather than allowing it to be unconsciously siphoned from you. So that is leading to a massive breakthrough or victory with the victory card. I feel like this is a major key to your continuous level up that is happening, especially here at the end of 2025 and leading into 2026. I keep getting this energy generally around 2026, that this is going to be a really big year for you, that this is going to be the year where all of the seeds that you've planted are coming into fruition. You may be getting a lot of like intuitive hits about 2026 as well, feeling that energy building behind the scenes. I'm hearing a 9-year cycle is over, but for some reason my guides were calling it a grief cycle. Interesting. Maybe for some of you, there was something you had to let go of for the past 9 years or that you've been working through that's involved a lot of grieving or like emotional heaviness. That won't be for everyone. But I feel for some of you, you've been, oh, wow, this is the message for someone. For some of you, you've been grieving the version of yourself that you were before 2016, before 9 years ago. And I feel there was something about that year that may have been very significant for you and like life altering. And I'm seeing a carving in stone. I feel that it carved something into stone that like couldn't be erased. It carved a knowing into your mind. Maybe this is when you had a spiritual awakening or something pivotal happened in your life that just altered the entire course of your life. This won't be for everyone, but I just say I'm getting that so strongly for a group of you that something was carved into stone in that year. And it cannot be undone. It cannot be erased. And you've been processing it ever since, but now the processing is completing itself. And it's asking you to use all of that as your launch pad into exponential growth and manifestation of your desires. It's like everything up until this point, especially in the past 9 years, has been creating this moment of launch. And now it's happening. It's here. So there's going to be some kind of victory as you stay focused. And I just keep getting messages about how important it is that you selectively and consciously choose your point of attraction, as Abraham Hicks would say, but your energy, your frequency, your vibration, where you're going to focus your thoughts, your vision. It may even help for some of you to create like a very clear vision or even like an action plan or like some kind of structure. I'm hearing create the bones. It's like creating the outline, the bones, like the basic structure for 2026, not in an overly rigid way, of course, not in any kind of way that would burn you out, but to provide some kind of divine masculine foundation to your creative, flowing divine feminine energy so that you can stay powerfully focused on what is meaningful to you, because your energy feels so amplified. And by the way, that's why so many people want access to it right now. You have a lot of people trying to pull on your energy because it is so amplified and so powerful, and they are sensing that on some subconscious level. So in a sense, you may have a lot of people almost like trying to get that energy for themselves in some kind of way. I'm hearing the journey from the caterpillar to the butterfly is complete. Angel of strength in the reverse position. It's interesting because we've been talking a lot about lions. There could be Leo energy here. I know I said that earlier. Also Aries and Taurus seem to be coming up as well. But this card actually has a lion pictured on it. But in the reverse position, I'm hearing something about you taming the lion. I don't know if that is like there's a masculine energy that feels, again, like you have them wrapped around your finger in some sense, or if that's you taming some kind of lion within yourself or something that appeared to be a lion, like some kind of fear or pattern or anxiety that felt so much bigger and more threatening than it actually was. And you tamed this lion in some way, maybe internally, is what's coming up here. Is there anything else I can channel specifically? With this card for the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine is feeling very raw, exposed, vulnerable. I'm hearing, even especially in the last 24 hours, there's almost this heightened emotional sensitivity that I'm picking up on from the masculine. And it's actually because of a heightened sense of pull and attraction that is making him increasingly emotional. So with the sacral chakra, I feel that this very strong fire within the masculine, this desire for you, divine feminine, if this is a specific person romantically, this is causing him to feel more emotionally open and raw and exposed. And that vulnerability is almost somewhat triggering to him, especially if he is still in an unhealed state or in the process of healing. So you may notice instances where those triggers surface, or he may get reactive or something of that nature, but it's because of this feeling of increased pull and attraction towards you, which is surfacing these feelings of being exposed or being vulnerable emotionally in some kind of way. That's what I'm getting here from this particular person. For some reason, I'm seeing like a small lock box. I don't know if it's a jewelry box, but I'm seeing a little box with a lock on it. Maybe it's Pandora's box for some of you, symbolically. Oh yeah, for some of these masculines, it's definitely a Pandora's box of their own healing. Like they opened Pandora's box when they started this healing journey, and they've set something into motion that cannot be stopped. Like they've set their own growth into motion, and it's starting to show physically. People around them are even starting to notice these changes in them emotionally, spiritually, literally, and it can't be stopped, even though I feel many of these masculines may have actually tried to shut it down from time to time because of the way that it does make them feel more emotionally vulnerable and exposed. But again, it's unstoppable at this point. Yeah, it bypasses the mind and the logic with the thinking man reversed. And happy family reverse, this is leading to disconnect in their physical community, whether it's in a marriage, a relationship, a family, a social group, a workplace. I feel that they are realizing that they are so different from many of the people that they socially or romantically or physically connect with in a day. And there's like this internal rift forming that is becoming increasingly evident on the external as well. I saw the color green really brightly in my mind's eye. I don't know if that is significant to someone. Also like some kind of robe, specifically it was like a red robe of some sort, or like a red, maybe like overcoat or something. But I am going to go ahead and reshuffle. I want to move on to the throat chakra. A lot of messages were coming through just from the heart chakra, which while I'm shuffling for the throat chakra, I want to let you know that I've recently created a subliminal called Balance Internal Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. This is one of my favorite subliminals I've ever created. And since I've started using it personally, I've noticed that my natural energy levels, sense of clarity, motivation, confidence have all been increasing, as well as my ability to tap in more effortlessly to that feminine flow state. It feels like both sides of myself are coming into balance. And that is the purpose of this subliminal, to help you to amplify that sense of connectedness to both your inner healed feminine and inner healed masculine. And these really are the building blocks of everything that is created, everything we create, everything in nature. So listening to this subliminal consistently will help to reprogram your mind to heal your inner masculine and your inner feminine and balance them with one another in such a way that allows you to powerfully move forward on your goals, your dreams, your desires, to manifest in all areas of your life more effortlessly, and to also bring yourself into union with romantic energies externally that you desire to connect with, whether it is a twin flame that you want to reunite with, a high-level soulmate, or whether you are balancing energies within a romantic connection that is already in your life. This will be so beneficial to all of that as well. It will really help you to bring your interpersonal relationships, especially the romantic ones, into balance as well. So this subliminal comes from my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, and this is my absolute passion project. It is my dream in manifested form, and I'm so excited to share it with all of you and to keep adding more subliminals and features to this app all the time. So as you can see on the screen, within this app, I have over 140 subliminals for love, relationships, energy clearing, for business, money, manifesting specific things, and so much more. And when you create a free 7-day trial account in the app, you get access to every single subliminal I've created. You can listen to any of them in 10 different background sound options. You can read the affirmations while you're listening, and you can create your own custom private playlists as well. Personally, I have seen more results using subliminals over the years than any other manifestation technique I've ever tried, because unlike traditional manifestation techniques, subliminals are targeted to your subconscious mind, which really controls 95% of your thoughts, your actions, and therefore the energy that you exude, and really dictates what comes back to you. So subliminals can be so powerful to incorporate into your daily manifestation routines. My app now has over 1,500 reviews and a 4.9 star overall rating in the Apple App Store. So many people are seeing powerful results from using these subliminals, and I would love for you to try it for yourself. So the link to download and get started is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, so let's move up to the throat chakra. I'm hearing I want to communicate, and that came through so clearly. So there is a specific masculine energy that wants to communicate to you, and specifically with the victory card, this masculine wants to communicate a breakthrough to you, a breakthrough that they've had mentally, some kind of realization that they've had. And I do feel this is more of a mental or emotional breakthrough than something necessarily physical, although this mental breakthrough will alter the landscape of their manifested physical life over the course of time, because as within, so without. And it is a very powerful breakthrough. Can I get messages specifically on this breakthrough? Why do I deserve someone like you? Please do what is best for your heart. No one understands me but you. So I feel like this is a masculine who may have been disconnected for you for some time, and they've been hesitant to re-enter your life or to reach out to you. I got the letter initials CLANCY. I don't know. This is someone who is hesitant to reach out because they see or sense that you are in this thriving state of being, and they don't want to disrupt that. They're also struggling with feeling worthy of you, and they want you to genuinely do whatever is best for you. But the reason that they want to communicate is because the breakthrough realization that they've had is that no one understands them the way that you do. And I feel this may be that same masculine who was looking around them in their physical life and realizing that many of the people around them simply do not get them or do not understand them the way that you do. And so they're craving how seen they felt in your presence is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing something about like seeing the forest for the trees. like they somehow got lost in the details of something and missed the bigger picture. I'm hearing minutia, like they got lost on minutia. I don't know if that's for someone. I'm hearing the word destiny for someone as well. The word oracle is coming through. Maybe they consider you like an oracle, or you have been really tapping into your gifts and abilities as an oracle. Can I get any other messages from this masculine? Why is it that you love me? Yeah, there's a definite worthiness wound coming through around this breakthrough. I don't want to be who I used to be. You deserve better. So this is someone who's realizing that you are the only one who has truly seen them. But they're also, because of that realization, struggling with really feeling worthy of connecting with you. But I ultimately feel that there is this building pressure to communicate what is coming through here. So it's very likely they are going to be communicating this regardless with door to value. Like I'm hearing there's too much potential here. So they feel too much with you that they see so much potential and value in, and that they've never experienced before, for them not to ultimately reach out and communicate this to you. So I'm also hearing that on your side, Divine Feminine, you may feel or sense the pressure building in the throat chakra. Like you may have this sort of psychic sense that a particular masculine from your past is about to reach out to you. You may dream of them. You may just start thinking of them, or they may just feel very present in your energy because you are very psychically attuned to how others are transmitting energy to you in the quantum field. So I got the name Roy for someone. Can I get any information for the third eye chakra? I'm hearing imagination and downloads, and we actually got the imagination card. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So you may be feeling more receptive to downloads than usual, Divine Feminine. It's funny, I meant this to be a Divine Masculine reading, and we are getting a lot of those messages, but there are still a lot of messages for the Divine Feminine coming through here as well. I kept getting the name Kate or Katie throughout this reading also. I feel with Angel of Balance reversed and Caring Connections reversed. Okay, I heard a message about how you, Divine Feminine, are becoming more attuned psychically to your highest timeline that you are now stepping into. And as a result of that, you may actually notice that you are less psychically attuned to lower vibrational or negative people around you, and more focused on the higher vibrational reality that you are creating. So what I mean by this is you may feel a bit more oblivious to people or things or environments that you used to feel very sensitive to or very attuned to. And it's not because you are not as psychic or are not as attuned. It's because you're focusing that attunement to actually connecting yourself and tuning yourself to your highest timeline rather than to the dominant frequency in the room, which sometimes would have been negative in the past. You are becoming the dominant frequency in the room. You are bringing the sunshine everywhere you go, even if it is winter, symbolically or literally, wherever you live. And because of that, you may feel more closed off to certain people, things, or environments, or less attuned to them emotionally or mentally. But more, you may feel like you're receiving these rapid fire downloads and insights and ideas related to your higher timeline that you are attuning yourself to. So that's what I'm picking up for you, Divine Feminine. But for the Divine Masculine, I'm getting that they are feeling so much flooding through their third eye. And I'm seeing it being rusty, like a rusty sort of like faucet that's being turned on. And so this faucet has like rusted over for so long. They're not used to so much insight and information flooding through so consciously via their third eye chakra. So it's feeling a little unbalancing or overwhelming. With Caring Connections reversed, I also feel as though it's making them very introspective and reflective for times in the past where they may have felt care that they couldn't fully process or express, or they may have not showed up in a love connection or relationship in the ways that they wanted to deep down, but it's like they were energetically closed off to doing that. So they may be feeling this towards you, Divine Feminine. If these are masculines from your past, this may just be general introspection happening in the masculine collective. And yeah, it is happening, or it's being felt and sensed consciously, but it's bypassing the ego mind, like the typical barriers and filters that used to be set up in the mind. I'm hearing a masculine say, like, I've never felt this emotional, or I've never been this introspective, or these realizations have never come through. It's actually because they're opening that valve in the third eye chakra that was rusted over for so long, and they're more connected to an intuitive knowing that they've always had access to, but they've just been relatively closed off to it in the past. So now, I know this video is getting a little long, but I've wanted to get through all of these chakra centers. So let's go ahead and channel into anything that wants to come through the crown chakra for the divine masculine, just to close things out here. And maybe I'll pull a little bit from the traditional tarot because we haven't made it around to this deck. I'm seeing a country dirt road. Maybe that's relevant for someone. The 8 of Pentacles, I'm hearing finally building in the right direction. So maybe that's how the divine masculine collective is beginning to feel, like things are finally turning in the right direction. It's taken a long time. It's been very gradual, because I'm hearing physical changes are like molasses for the masculine polarity. It takes much longer. I'm hearing coming into focus, and I saw someone wearing glasses and like their eyes coming into focus, but I feel that metaphorically, this also could speak to you, divine feminine, about your metaphoric spiritual vision coming into focus after a period of time where you may have actually felt some anxiety or some fear or overwhelm surfacing. I'm hearing the overwhelm was the old timeline collapsing that you are now stepping out of. So you may have been feeling some unusual emotions that the conscious mind might label as negative, like fear or anxiety or uncertainty or overwhelm. But what I'm hearing is it was meant to pivot you, to turn you in a different direction, like Daniel in the lion's den, to get you to look where you're going, not on these so-called like problems that your mind might be overblowing, but on what you're creating. Because I'm hearing the solution naturally rises you out of the problem. But if you're focused on the problem frequency, you stay stuck in the problem. If you're focused on the solution frequency, the vision, it will just so powerfully, naturally unravel and dissolve anything that you're currently considering as problems over the course of time, because that vision includes within it all of those solutions just naturally. And that's one message that I'm picking up on here. And it's interesting because it reminds me of a download that came through right before I hit the play button or the record button on this reading. And the download that came through is that rather than pushing against something, tune to the frequency where like you are vibrating above it or out of it. And that is the shift. Like I just feel so much lightness even in my being as I'm saying that. And I hope that you're feeling it too. I hope that I'm transmitting that effectively, because I feel that there's this shift from like feeling so focused on these things that the mind is considering as problems to like suddenly the vision coming into focus and pouring all of your focus and energy into that, and the so-called problems naturally dissolving because you're rising into this higher frequency of a vision that you're stepping into. So this feels like such a powerful place to close the reading. I'm going to close it out here. Again, if you do want to listen to part 1 of this reading, the root chakra, sacral, and solar plexus for the divine masculine, the link to that first reading is below. Also, if you want to use my balance internal divine feminine and divine masculine energy to shift your frequency, to begin to magnetize yourself for your desires by accessing and healing both your feminine and masculine, and also attracting in your highest timeline in love, whatever that is for you personally, through using this subliminal, then the link to get the subliminal in the Sound and Soulful app is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video as well. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love. Have an amazing day, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.